At the moment, I got it. The fact that the Sky was getting romped by 35 certainly didn't help matters.
We've all played basketball. You know when you shove somebody in the back that the ref's gonna blow the whistle and call the foul? Well, the ref didn't call the foul.
A word about a flagrant foul prior to going to break, by the way, after the supposed hard foul.
She's the biggest rookie the WNBA has ever seen, breaking records, filling arenas, and bringing new life to the sport. But now, Caitlin Clark is also the league's biggest target. Leaked courtside footage shows coordinated hits, ignored fouls, and a disturbing pattern that suggests this isn't just rough play, it's a campaign to break her down. Clark fights past a screen at one point in the clip and gets caught with a forearm to the ribs. Refs? Not noisy.
Was that Caitlin Clark was actually reacting to a foul that should have been called on Angel Reese against Aaliyah Boston.
That too, okay? But the reality of the situation is clear. I think it was a basketball play.
She gets jawed at in another by an opposing veteran following a three-pointer. But what truly had people buzzing was the interaction caught after the whistle. A group of opposition players apparently arranging violent moves, with one obviously mouching the words, "She needs to be hit." Allow it sink in. Not tough basketball anymore is this. This is directed hostility.
I don't think it's much ado about anything. I think both of you are 100% correct in terms of not only attributing it to competition.
Jason Whitlock, other than jealousy, what is Reese's motivation for animosity towards Clark? I said she's jealous AF. She sees the attendance.
Caitlin Clark, the most well-known rookie the sport has ever seen, is squarely in the sights. Furthermore, the league insects. Not even one flagrant foul, not a statement, no fines, not one in charge. Fans of the game will see this to be betrayal. For supporters of Clark, it's an outrage, and the situation is terrible for the Fever Company as well. Arriving in the WNBA as a generational talent, Clark broke collegiate records, attracted millions of viewers, and started national dialogue on women's basketball. She brought sponsors, TV offers, merchandise sales, and millions of fresh viewers for the sport. And now, she is being disciplined over it. The video set off a wildfire. Major announcers, WNBA stars, and NBA greats chimed in. Not even impartial viewers could refute what they were seeing.
But loving the fact that they're being allowed to compete. We should not judge women competing against one another differently than we would judge.
Foul. It was not a flagrant foul with the intent to hurt somebody. And
one former athlete added, "She's being hunted out there." The refs are allowing it to happen as well. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN exploded on air. This is not physical play. This is intentional target, and the WNBA should wake up before a PR catastrophe results. You cannot let your main celebrity be treated like a national TV crash dummy. Even longtime WNBA fans acknowledged they were taken aback. You cannot have it both ways, one observer pointed out. You want the ratings, the limelight, the general interest? Then shield the players who carry that limelight. But it goes beyond just Clark as well. It's about what her treatment suggests regarding the league's culture. Barely out of rebuild mode, the Indiana Fever have been bearing the weight of Caitlin's stardom while trying to endure nightly on-court beatdowns and angry audiences. Until lately, they have been largely silent.
so Caitlin Clark is sitting there with her hands up like, you gonna call that? So then, yes, she went and fouled Angel Reese.
Because people were hating on her because of her elevated popularity and the fact that she had gone at Caitlin Clark that way.
Rarely seen, a Fever assistant coach was recorded on a hot mic uttering, "They're trying to break her." One can clearly see, and the league is just letting it ride. Since then, several Fever organizational sources have verified that internal complaints have been registered with the WNBA office. Those objections have not yet received attention. Other rookie like Angel Reese, Cam Brink, and Rickea Jackson have also observed the season's tone, declaring, "No one deserves to be bullied for bringing attention to the game." Reese has openly backed Clark against the vitriol. Veteran of the league Brianna Turner also lately posted on social media cautioning against the dangerous trend of jealousy disguised as defense. Then, what is motivating this? Some claim it to be resentment.
Never in Caitlin Clark's face taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing.
The ratings, gate revenue, it's not close. She's a media-created rival. ESPN played right into it with that flagrant foul.
They're all super talented. But if we're going to talk about them, we have to talk about them like we talk about any other sport.
More hype, money, and media coverage than most players ever experience in a career. Clark entered the league. That focus could lead to animosity. Some claim it's an internal struggle between the showy new generation and seasoned veterans from established schools. Others think it relates more to control, marketability, or race. Whichever the motivation, one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark is being singled out, and the quiet of the WNBA is getting intolerable. Demand from fans is for action. Now trending on every major platform is number Protect Caitlin. Already, experts, lawyers, and YouTubers have broken out the film. Not only are sports media personalities outside of basketball, such as Pat McAfee and Colin Cowherd, calling out the league. "I don't care whether or not you are a Clark enthusiast," Cowherd remarked. "That's not letting them play if you're letting your biggest star get beat up every night without protection. That is vandalism." Clark keeps his cool in meantime. Expert. Targeting. She has, meanwhile, also alluded to the wear and tear behind the scenes. "I just play hard," she said following one game. "I'm expecting physical interaction, but wanting to damage someone differs from competing." That sentence, trying to hurt someone, is like a siren playing over many media outlets.
To numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time.
With some LeBron James-looking flops if I ever saw them. By the way, Caitlin Clark, a triple-double, 20 points.
The ball is presently on the floor of the WNBA. Will the league act right away? Will it penalties, warnings, or suspensions to convey that superstardom is not a license for violence? Alternatively, will it keep underplaying the circumstances, hoping the noise disappears before it influences ratings? The future of the league could teeter on a knife edge, since this goes beyond a Clark issue. There is a cultural issue here, and if allowed uncontrolled, the message is clear. Shine too bright, and we will dull you the hard way. Not yet is any official announcement issued.
Come to the WNBA. No fault of Caitlin's at all. But in the end, because of her greatness and because people were resistant to
ESPN, your anti-Caitlin Clark agenda on full display. Going on and on about how that needs to be a flagrant.
Previously, when you see they cut off the play early, Angel Reese actually shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back to get a rebound.
Insiders indicate, however, that conversations are occurring behind closed doors. Review of cameras is underway. Rereading complaints helps one to understand them, and the league office is racing to a head of a crisis that is now playing on every screen in America, not just a whisper. The footage obviously does not deceive, and the globe has seen it now. Caitlin Clark is avoiding a target, not merely carrying a franchise. And should the WNBA fail, supporters may begin to wonder, who's actually playing defense out there, and who's simply acting dirty?